The 911 call came in to Madison police just before 11:30 this morning.
We received a call for an injured woman, and when we responded there, then we found the scene as it is now.
The victim, a woman in her late 40s, however, was already deceased by the time police arrived. A source close to the investigation tells us the victim was found by one of her 2 children in the yard of a home she rented on Middle Beach Road West.
We're pursuing all leads and gathering evidence.
While police won't release the victim's name, Connecticut's newsroom has learned she is Barbara Hamburg. Hamburg was to appear in court this morning in relation to litigation surrounding her divorce with her ex-husband, Jeffrey Hamburg. Police sources tell us her ex-husband is being sought for questioning. According to court records, Jeffrey Hamburg has had serious financial problems, including $36,000 owed to his ex-wife for back child support. Just one day after a gruesome discovery, residents of a generally safe Madison community react to the murder of one of their own neighbors.
I just have this vision of her kind of finding her way out onto the front yard. I just hope they catch the person that did it.
Barbara Hamburg's body was found by one of her children in the yard of the home she rented, according to police. Today, the medical examiner's office said Hamburg died as a result of blunt force trauma and stab wounds.
Obviously, we have a great handle on this, and officers are working around the clock on it.
But that's not necessarily enough to bring ease to the minds of Madison residents.
I've got 4 daughters, and they're all pretty scared. We put the alarm on now when we leave the house for anything. I'd like to see some closure quickly to it.
Madison police have not made any arrests yet, but did question Hamburg's ex-husband, Jeffrey Hamburg, briefly over the phone on Wednesday night. New Haven attorney Hugh Keefe confirmed to Connecticut's newsroom that he has been retained by Jeffrey Hamburg and says there is no arrest warrant for his client. We do, however, know that both Jeffrey and Barbara were expected to be in court on Wednesday morning, but Barbara never showed up. At this point, Madison police say there is no reason for the public to be worried for their own safety. Meanwhile, their investigation at 44 Middle Beach Road West, where Hamburg's body was found, continues.
We're here through tonight and into tomorrow, and probably till tomorrow afternoon at least. State Police Major Crime Unit is still gathering evidence, and the detectives are out gathering leads.
It's disturbing and shocking, and, I don't know what really more to say. It was just not a good thing for Madison.
March 3rd, 2010, Barbara Hamburg was found beaten and stabbed to death in her front yard. Her ex-husband, Jeffrey Hamburg, was a suspect in the killing. This morning, Hamburg was arrested and charged with first-degree larceny.
It has to do with a custodial account where he was withdrawing money from it.
According to the affidavit, Hamburg's daughter, named after her mother, Barbara Hamburg, filed a complaint about depleted funds held in her custodial account, $84,000 to be exact. It was to be used solely for her education. In June 2010, when Jeffrey Hamburg appeared in court, he was at least $1 million in debt. The judge told him to get a job and pay back the money.
I think he's working. I'm not exactly sure, but I do know that, this whole trauma of being a suspect in the death of his wife beginning in March of 2010 has been extremely traumatic for him and extremely expensive. So it does not surprise me that he's short of funds.
Hamburg was released on a $50,000 cash bond.
That $50,000 struck me as being unusually high for a larceny case.
He also said he hoped it wasn't retaliation or, quote, sour grapes over the fact they couldn't pin a murder on Hamburg.
This has nothing to do with the homicide investigation at all.
Sarah French, Fox, Connecticut.
Barbara Hamburg's older sister says she's a victim, now in heaven.
She's my baby sister, and for me, it is haunting every day.
Every day since March 3rd, 2010, when one of Hamburg's teenagers found her stabbed to death in the front yard of the home she rented in Madison.
I've accepted her loss, but I don't think I'll find peace until I know who would have done such a horrible, horrible thing to her.
While the police investigation continues, it's a frustrating prospect for friends and family who've now been waiting 3 years for answers and the possibility of justice.
I think that the police are probably doing the best that they can.
Obviously, we have a great handle on this, and Officers are working around the clock on it.
Madison police began investigating immediately, illustrated in that 2010 quote. But Nicole Croteau, a friend of Barbara's, remembers the news like it was yesterday and believes justice will be served.
People can go based on assumptions. I truly believe in my heart what had happened.
In the months after the murder, police called Hamburg's ex-husband Jeffrey Hamburg in for questioning, but he was never named as a suspect. Since then, the family says police have been relatively tight-lipped. So for Hamburg's 19-year-old daughter, 21-year-old son, and beloved sister, today begins yet another year of waiting.
And I pray that they can bring this to justice, and I'm not here next year on March 3rd, 2014, 4 years later.